Again, good morning, everybody that's on the team. And here, what we have in front of us right now is the telemarketing training alerts. And these are the things that we want you to do, and then the things that we don't want you to do. And they're here for a reason, like I said earlier, is to protect you from yourselves. And then at the same time, we also want to make sure that the things that are under the zero tolerance or the don'ts list is that we are meeting what the client has requested. And so in the dues process, with TCPA rules in every state, and that's Telecommunications Consumer Protection Act, TCPA, we are required by all of those rules in every state that we brand ourselves in the first 30 seconds of the call. And so what it does is that it removes the old stigma of reps who would they would customer would connect, and the first thing that they would do is, hello, who am I speaking with? The person that handles the utility bill. Yes, I have a great offer to talk about today. If you can get a copy of your bill, I will gladly wait for you to do that. And so they never told the customer who they were, number one, and who they were calling on behalf of to start with. And that's because they were afraid if they said who they were and calling on behalf of a supplier, they would disconnect. So they're going through it. They were going through a different direction. Well, over time, many reps it got a little creative in the way they were doing this thing, and then they would say, I've got some great offers. Can I speak with the person that handles the? And let's say, for example, that we're in Pennsylvania. May I speak with the person that handles the Pico bill? And so now the customer thinks that you're from Pico because of the way the rep was positioning the opening. And so again, we cannot associate ourselves with the utility. So we have to brand ourselves in this way, and it has to be done within the first 30 seconds of the call. So the opening always sounds the same. Hello, this is Danny calling on behalf of Verde Energy. Just to let you know, this call is being recorded for your protection. And so that way the customer gets a little bit of easiness as far as they might bring that shield up, but it relieves them a little bit because they hear that you're branding yourself with your name, you're telling them who you're calling on behalf of, and that the call is being recorded for their protection. So it's always important that within the first 30 seconds, we actually do this. All right. And so, and then the next thing is, we always want to be courteous, obviously, because we don't want to get rude with somebody on the call, even though they may say things to us, call us names, and say, just ugly things. But again, you have to understand that they've been getting calls from a lot of people every day, or they have somebody that knocks on their door every single day, or they get a direct mail piece that they get in the mail every single day. So again, everybody's always after their business, and so they might get a little testy. Unfortunately, that may come across to us if we happen to be the caller at the time that they are being testy. So, but we still have to remain courteous regardless, and that because this is the business that we've chosen, and because of that, we have to be courteous. The other thing is we need to speak clearly and slowly. Okay, and the reason I say this is because I have listened to recordings from other teams since we've been brought on, which was around just the latter part of July, and now going to be finishing up the year with them, is we have reps that are just in a hurry. They want to go through and give the customer everything about the offer, and then never confirming with the customer if they understand what's being told to them, and then get into the TPV process, telling them to answer everything with a clear yes or no, puts their verifier on the phone, and boom, they're done. Now I can go to the next call. Unfortunately, that caller is probably not going to stay with us very long, simply because they didn't know what the hell that you offered them. Okay, you just told them this is what you're going to get, but they never had a chance to ask questions. So it's always important for us to speak clearly and slowly. Plus, it also helps you to regroup yourself, because if you've been talking all day long on calls, all day long going through the same process, over time you're going to get a cotton mouth. You're going to get things that you're seeing the same way all the time, and so you get into a rut of some sort that allows you to say things that are not correct. They're not part of it. So again, by speaking clearly and slowly, we can avoid that. And then always asking the customer if they understand what's been told to them. So in the middle of the script, you can ask the customer, is there any questions that you have at this point from what we've talked? And they say yes. Okay, so they answer the questions. If they say no, then you continue on. But it's important to make sure that they understand what it is that they're being given, okay? And so we want to make sure that happens. We always want to provide accurate information regarding the offer. what exactly is the rate that they're getting? What is the term? Is there a monthly service fee? Is there an early termination fee? Customer service numbers, that need to be given to them. What's going to happen with their bill? Who's going to continue to read their meters? Who's going to continue to respond to emergencies? And the fact that we're not affiliated with the utility. All of these things you'll see on the scripts, but these are all things that we want to make sure the customer is receiving accurately, and not just some haphazard replies, like especially when it comes to the bill handling process. You know what? Well, I don't want to switch, and oh, don't worry about it. Everything's going to remain the same. Well, what's the definition of remaining the same? Okay, and so we'll talk a little bit more on that when we get to the script. But these are the things about being accurate and being transparent to the customer. Because if we're transparent to the customer, we're not hiding anything. We're building a relationship that's going to stay. Okay, and that way that if you're paid based on sales made or acceptance or whatever the case may be, you have a higher percentage of those happening versus a higher percentage of them canceling, and then there's no payment for it. So a lot of work has gone into it from your part, and not getting paid for. So what we're trying to do is not only stay compliant, but at the same time create a relationship where it stays with you as a team, and everybody's paid accordingly based on doing it the right way the first time. So again, we always preach do it right the first time, and if we do that, and just by following these little guidelines that we have in front of you, you'll see how they will be married with each other, and they make sense as we go along. So any questions on the do's?
No, as of now, we have understood. So we will definitely ask you if we have. Okay. So this is fine.
Great. Okay, great. So let's go to the
Do you have any questions? Just have asked my reps if they have any questions regarding the first part. Do's. Do you have any questions? No, it's fine with them. So you can continue.
Cool. Okay, very good. All right, so let's talk about the zero tolerance items. These are things that we cannot do on the call simply because they're not allowed to. And if you do and you reference it, you could be put into a position of slamming customers, and also of misrepresenting the offer itself by saying things that don't exist or are not part of it. And simply because reps don't have the confidence in their sales ability to keep a customer on the phone, so they create or ad lib to the script, and that's just simply so the customer stays on the call and doesn't disconnect. Unfortunately, it happens, and so what we have to do is cover it with you to say, hey, we don't want these things to be said or done, and if it does, then we'll let you know via friendly emails to start with, and then after that it can get kind of ugly. But I don't want the ugly. I prefer the good stuff, and so at the end of the day, here we go. So we don't ever tell the customer we're associated with the utility, and you may not say it directly, but you could say it indirectly, and this is how it would be done. Hello, this is Danny. May I speak with the person that handles the Pico bill in this household? Are you the person that handles the Pico bill? Well, the customer is hearing Pico bill. Okay, and so the customer's gonna say, well, what's wrong with my Pico bill? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the Pico bill. I want to go over some things with you. So if you can get a copy of your bill, I'd like to go over those with you. So the customer says, okay, well, let me get a copy of the bill. So they come back with the bill, and they say, okay, so what's wrong with the bill? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the bill. This is Danny calling on behalf of Verde Energy, and we've got some great offers today, and I just wanted to go over the information with you about our offer, and so that way you can see if you want to make, we can apply those changes to your account today. And so what you did by asking for the person that handles the Pico bill, are you the person that handles the Pico bill? You're implying that you might be calling from Pico. So that's got the customer all worried now, okay? And so they stay on the phone. But that's just a ploy by the rep to keep the customer from disconnecting. Okay, so you indirectly associated yourself with the utility, and you can't. So the actual name of the utility never actually ever comes up until you get to confirming the information of the bill, so that you can verify that you're either going to get a 10-digit account number, or you're going to get a 12-digit account, or whatever it is information that you need to get for that particular utility. That's when you actually know who the utility is. Okay, so at the end of the day, you can never refer to the utility until it's time to confirm the bill information, the name and address. How does it read on there? Is it the same as the billing address? What's the account number from it? and then you can confirm who the utility is that they get their electricity from, and then possibly their gas as well. So, so we don't want to use that as part of the opening, because when you do that, customer gets the bill, they come back, and then you say, "Oh, really? This is Danny calling on behalf of Verde Energy." You just did a bait and switch. Okay, you baited the customer by saying, "Can you get the bill?" And in your hand, they're all worried. They come back, and then you switch on them and say, "Oh, I'm just calling from Verde Energy because I've got a great deal, and I want to your account." So you did a bait and switch. That's like slamming, and it's against TCPA rules. Those types of calls are not acceptable, and they will be canceled. And then we will ask for the reps to be coached, and then ongoing situations might even get the rep to be removed off the campaign. So, and I don't want to go there. This is why we're having this training, so that we protect you from yourselves by doing something that you might not think is harm to the customer, but it is because of the TCPA rules, not necessarily the customer itself, but the TCPA rules themselves. So, any questions on that first one?
So I would just like to know that what would be the starting script then? Like, would we?
So the starting script would be what I mentioned earlier. Said, "Hello, this is Danny calling on behalf of Verde Energy. Just to let you know, this call is being recorded for your protection. May I speak with the person that handles the utility bill?" That's exactly how it opens, and we'll see that on the script. Okay.
Okay, so we won't take the name of the utility ever.
Nope, not until you get to the bill portion to verify the information.
Okay.
No, it just never comes up, because if you do, you're associating yourself with the utility.
Got you.
Even though you didn't say I work for the utility, you're indirectly implying that you're calling from the utility. Okay?
Got you.
That was a good question. Thank you. And then I hear this a lot because other suppliers allow it, and reps use it because they think that the customer is more likely to stay if they say, "Oh, congratulations, you qualify for benefits."
Easier way to grab the customer's attention and have
it is, but it has nothing to do with that, whether this customer is eligible or not. And we'll talk about what makes a customer eligible in a minute. And so I hear this a lot. "Hello, this is Danny calling on behalf of Verde Energy. Just to let you know, this call is being recorded for your protection. And my call today is I want to provide you discounts, or I want to lower your rates." Well, neither one of those apply, because we don't even know whether we're going to have a lower rate. Now, these are price protected programs. So you always, if you've already dialed price protected programs, you know that that the rate is never lower than the utility. Never. It's price protected, so it stays consistent for the next 12 months. Okay. Right. So that's the purpose of that. So we can't say we're calling to lower your rate, because Roy doesn't know that that the customer is paying 6.99 and you're offering a 7.99, which is going to be higher, but yours is fixed for the next, but yours is fixed for the next 12 months. Theirs may go up and down throughout the next 12 months. And so that's the reason why you're calling, to give them something that's consistent every single month. So, but again, he doesn't know whether they're lower or not. And he certainly doesn't know if he's going to be able to provide a discount or not. And then lastly, this is my favorite. "What is your zip code?" And then they give 55555. Well, congratulations, you qualify for benefits. And let me tell you, the only reason that you use the zip code is to determine who the utility is that they're receiving their bill. And that's all the reason for it. It's got nothing to do with whether they're eligible or not. So if you're dialing in Pennsylvania and you got multiple utilities, you ask them what the zip code is, and it comes up and it's Penelec or it's Duquesne or whatever, then you know that when you get to the confirming of the information, it's consistent. And tell me if I'm wrong on this one. You will hear the rep say, "Now I'm showing that you have Duquesne as your utility. Is that correct?" Only because you knew the zip code was in Duquesne market. Okay, so I know that's what you guys do. It's a standard process. You use the zip code to verify who the utility is, so that way when you get to the point, you're already talking about the utility before you get there. Okay. Sometimes that may be wrong, and that's why we don't use those terms and give the customer an impression that, "Hey, we got your information. Did you know that?" And so, we have some information. We have their phone number. We probably are 99% sure that we have the right name because it goes with it, but we're not sure on the name and address. Okay, city, state, and zip, and we definitely don't have their account number. So, and that's why we'll get to the script. We'll go over that information. So, anyway, going back to any questions on the lower your rate, provide you discounts, and congratulations, you qualify for our benefits. Okay, we cannot use those. All right.
Okay.
And we cannot use terms such as guarantee savings or I'm going to save you up to 20%. Okay, because again, it's nothing that's going to show up on the welcome letters when they get the welcome package. None of this is there. Okay, the only thing that's going to be there is what you talk about as far as what the offer is that they're getting. Okay, so it's very, very important that we don't use these terms because if you do and you can't deliver, then that causes a problem, usually a complaint. Hopefully, we get the complaint locally. We listen to the recording, and so we don't hear it. That's a good thing. If we do hear it, then we have to submit a cancellation for that recording. At the same time, then we have to send out a coaching on the particular rep so that the rep doesn't do it anymore. Again, these are all things that I want to avoid. I prefer not to do that, but it does happen. So we do listen to 100% of every recording that you generate. 100%. I have 10 people that listen to these things, and I can guarantee you they submit a form to me, and it sits right in front of me every single day. I know exactly what's happening with your team. And so, oh yeah. Believe me, I see enough of those recordings. We do anywhere between 500 to 600 recordings a day from all of the teams that are there. So we listen to a lot of calls. And so I have, 500 to 600 emails that pop up in front of me every day. And so, yeah.
But again, we have to find out a way to engage the customer or to create interest. So these things are actually used for that. So you would have a script, I guess, which would have certain things which would help us.
We'll do that. And actually, it's not even part of the script in total. It's more handling objections. Okay, if you handle the objections properly, then you can avoid having to do any of these things. And so we'll talk a little bit about that as we go on as well.
Sure.
So the other terms that we hear a lot, okay, is are you getting federal or government assistance or pay the bill by yourself? And the customer says, no, I'm not. And yes, I am. Well, congratulations. You qualify for our benefits. And we're going again. No,
yes.
no. And I hear laughter in the background. That's because you're using it today in this world, aren't you? So I know. I've been around in this business for 35 years. I've heard everything, guys and ladies. I've heard a lot. And so these are not conditions that make the customer eligible for enrollment. None. Have nothing. Zero. Absolutely nada. They don't even exist on a piece of paper. So I'm going to show you what makes the customer eligible for enrollment here when we get to the script. We're almost there. And so the last thing is we don't dial any referral sales. Okay, this is a DNC scrub campaign. So anything that you get that's outside of the leads that we send back to you that have been scrubbed for DNC. Okay, if you make a sale and Roy says, hey, Mr. Smith, do you know of anybody else that can use this offer that we just put your account on? Oh yeah, give my brother Bill a call. Just tell him that I said you could call him and this is his number. So they give you a phone number, and that's okay. I'm great that Roy is doing his job and not trying to add more business to our database at the same time get paid for more sales. However, the problem is that referral sale we don't know if it's DNC. Okay.
Right.
Number two, if it's wireless, it's automatically a DNC. We don't do wireless numbers through this campaign. Okay.
So actually we can take that preferred sale number and we can send those leads across to you. And then if it is
you send them to me. I scrub them. If they're good, I'll send it back and say you can dial this one, but you can't dial this one, and then knock yourself out. But again, the reps that are on this call, do not be in a hurry to dial these numbers. Okay, because they're not expecting your call today. Okay, you got it as a referral, so they're not expecting your call. But protect the campaign and protect the contract by scrubbing it for DNC before you dial. Then if it comes back and you dial, knock yourself out, make yourself happy, and get another sale. But if it comes back and says you can't because it is a DNC, then what you've done is you protected the campaign from getting a complaint from somebody that is DNC. And just an FYI, I'm not sure if you know that, but if a customer's number is registered through the federal through the registry, the national registry, or even the state, but specifically the national registry, and they know the rules. If you dial a DNC number, that customer can call and file a complaint. And if they recorded the call and they recorded the DID and the whole routine, they can file a complaint and say this supplier of Verde Energy dialed me and I'm on the DNC. That's an automatic payment of $500 for every infraction.
My God.
Okay. So this is why it's very important that you guys protect the campaign by just Don't be in a hurry. Give it to this number. We'll scrub it. If it's good, go. If it's not, we'll let you know. Okay.
Sure.
So there. All right. Any questions
And
on the?
so for instance, these things would be done every day, right? Because we'll be uploading leads every day.
As long as
So,
you send the initial set of leads, we'll scrub and get them back. You dial those. Anything that's brand new, you send. Anything that's new from a referral sale, you send it in so we can scrub it. So if it's out, if you manually have to dial it, send it to us first. Okay.
No problem.
And then if you've got a book of business that's ready to be called back because they've been scheduled, send that as a separate file so we can scrub those, because some of those you may not be able to call back.
Sure. Just one question here is that, would we be calling, for instance, residential customers or business customers as well?
Residential only.
Residential only. Okay.
Okay. So if there's no questions on here, let's go over to the Pennsylvania script. Okay. And this is Pennsylvania, as you can see, nice colors, blue and green and yellow. And then if you look at the New Jersey, oh my God, the same, red, blue, green, and yellow. Same. Okay. Again, we build consistency. Every script looks the identical. It's just a different market. So as you can see, I said here, everything opens up with, hello, this is Danny calling on behalf of Dey Energy. Just to let you know, this call is being recorded for your protection. That is a must disclose. Okay, that has to be disclosed within the first 30 seconds of the call. And then you can start out and keep on with, may I speak with the person who handles the utility bill? Now, the person on the phone will tell you yes, and usually yes means that's them, okay? Or they will give you oh, they're not here right now, and so then you have to confirm the person on the phone if they are 18 years of age and authorized to switch the account. So I'm going to give you an example of if it's the account holder and go through the opening so that you can hear what it would sound like through the process. So, hello, this is Danny calling on behalf of Dey Energy. Just to let you know, this call is being recorded for your protection. May I speak with the person who handles the utility bill? Yes. What is your name, sir? My name is John Smith. Well, Mr. Smith, before we continue, are you currently receiving any utility assistance such as CAP, LIHEAP, or budget billing? No. Okay, well, I know you weren't expecting my call, so if you can grab a piece of paper and your current bill, then I would like for you to write some things down. I will hold while you get that. Okay, that's what it would sound like. It didn't take much. It took me less than 30 seconds to do the whole damn thing.
Correct.
Okay, it didn't take me 30 seconds to do just part of it. It took me 30 seconds to find out if the customer on the phone was the account holder, number one. And then number two, if he was, I just wanted to make sure he understood that before we continue, are you receiving utility assistance, not federal or government, utility? This is what makes the customer eligible for enrollment. Okay? If they are on CAP, if they are on LIHEAP, if they are on budget billing, you cannot continue with the call. It will not get processed. The utility will reject it, and you just wasted 15, 20 minutes on a call that's not going to happen. Okay? Very, very important for all the reps. This is the process. Okay, you cannot say, are you getting federal or government assistance? And they say no, and then the customer, you enroll them, and then they come back and it's get rejected by the utility because they were on CAP. Well, you just wasted that whole call, and including the TPV, and you're not getting paid on it. Okay, that's why you ask, are you receiving utility assistance? Not federal or government. But
so if somebody is receiving utility assistance, then we cannot,
because the utility is going to reject it immediately. As soon as they get it, they're going to say, oh, this customer's on CAP. Immediately, they're going to send it back to Verde and say on utility assistance program, and they're going to reject it. So you just spent all that time. The rep, whoever made the sale, spent 15, 20 minutes on that call for no reason, because they're not going to get paid on it, and you're not going to get paid on it. We're not going to get paid on it, because the utility manages those programs. They're the ones that determine whether the customer can be switched or not. Okay. Right. So very, very important to everybody that's on this call. You must ask before we continue, are you currently receiving any utility assistance? Okay. Emphasizing the words utility assistance, not federal or government, utility. Everybody clear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's do a call where the opening and the customer is not the account holder, but it's the spouse. Okay. So hello, this is Danny calling on behalf of Dey Energy. Just to let you know, this call is being recorded for your protection. May I speak with the person that handles the utility bill? Well, he's not here right now. I say, well, ma'am, what is your name? My name is Mary Smith. Well, Miss Smith, are you 18 years of age and authorized to switch accounts? She must say yes. Okay. If she says no, you cannot continue with the call. You must schedule a callback with the account holder. And the reason being is because the account holder is not there to authorize the switch, number one. And then when you asked her if she was authorized, she said no. So if you continue with the call and make a sale, that's an unauthorized enrollment that is subject for termination to that rep.
Okay.
Because that's a fraudulent sale. Okay, you switched the customer, and both times the account holder was not there, and she clearly said she was not authorized to do this, but you continued with the call. And so it's very important, everybody that's on this call, please don't be in a hurry to make a sale and get onto the next call that's in the queue. All right, make sure that we're verifying the information first, and if they're not there, schedule a callback. Okay, because again, and we don't go through any part of the offer or anything like that until we make sure the customer is eligible. And eligibility means they are not on a utility assistance program and they're authorized to switch the account. Okay. All right. So again, you just schedule a call back. Well, when will Mr. Smith be back? Oh, he'll be back this afternoon, a couple hours. Give us a call back. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I'll give you a call back in a couple hours. So then you call back. Okay. So that's the process. That is the process. And so what happens is you go through the process, and now when they come back with a bill, okay, now you're all happy because you got a bill in hand, right? And reps want to confirm everything. They're all giddy and happy and everything else. So you'll see this on the documents when you get them. So now you're going to go through and confirm the information that they come back with on the bill. So now, I'm going to hear some giggling because I'm going to refer to something that you guys do on a daily basis. And you're going to tell me, no, I don't know. Yes, you do. Let me just tell you how this works. Let me tell you how this works. And so what happens is that the customer comes back with the bill and say, okay, Mr. Customer, I want to confirm the name on the account. I am showing the name to be John Smith. Is that correct? But we don't want to confirm what we have. We want to confirm what they have. So the question should be, can you confirm the full name on the account as it appears on the bill? Did you hear how I emphasized appears on the bill? Okay. Right. And so then the customer says, yeah, it says John Smith. Is that you? Yes. Oh, thank you. And can you confirm the address as it appears on the bill? Not, I am showing the address as 1234 Test Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 123456 zip code. Is that correct? So what you're doing is you're confirming your information and having them confirm that. So you're using your lead list to confirm the information. Now, the problem is, and you heard me say this at the very beginning, lead lists change, okay? The phone number is going to be the same. It goes wherever they move. They port it over to a different address. The name is probably going to be the same, okay? 99.9 times the percent of the time it is. But the address, if they've moved, is not, okay? So what you're giving them is like, wait a minute, how did you get my data? Oh, now you got to explain, well, we buy lead lists and all this kind of stuff. And now you got through all the process. Well, we can avoid that conversation by simply saying, can you confirm the address as it appears on the bill? Let them give you the information because that's what you have to enter into the system. Mm-hmm. You can't enter what you have. You have to enter what they have. Okay. And if it's different, then when you submit it, it's going to match everything that gets to the utility. So it's very, very important that we do that. And then we ask the question, is the billing address the same, which is standard because you have to put that into the computer. And then the last thing is, can you provide the account number from the bill? Because that we have to confirm. Okay, because if we have a book of business and we have the account numbers, all that kind of stuff, again, we want to avoid customers thinking that you have all of their identity information. You can't do a lot with the information that they have from a supplier or utility because it doesn't have credit card numbers, doesn't have social security numbers, doesn't have date of birth and all that kind of stuff. It just has basic name, address, and account number. Okay, but customers don't know that. So this is why we want to confirm everything from their bill. So they're giving you the information. So on the call, you're asking them to confirm the information. You're not asking them to confirm yours. You want them to confirm theirs. Got it?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on that?
No, as of now, it's fine.
Okay, cool. Now let's go back to, okay, we got this information. Now you want to recap the bill or the offer that they're going to be getting. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we get to the point of, okay, Mr. Smith with Verde Energy. Now you'll notice that it says must disclose all bullet point items verbatim. Okay, meaning that you have to repeat it just like you see it. Okay, and there's a reason for this. Okay, there's a method to my madness. I'm telling you guys and ladies, this is good because these bullet points that you're seeing on the screen, okay, they are also the TPV questions that the customer is going to be asked to verify with a clear yes or no. So my method and my madness, mostly some of the times they don't go together, but the customer say, okay, now Mr. Smith, with Verde Energy, you're going to receive a rate of X cents per kilowatt hour, okay? And then if they buy gas, then you have to say you're going to get a price protected rate of X cents per therm or CCF or MCF, depending on which market that you're selling. Now, with Pennsylvania, and I'll show you the rate sheets in Pennsylvania, okay, you will notice that the rates are pretty good. They're down as low as 9.29, okay, for electricity, okay, for Med Ed, Duquesne, Allegheny is the same thing as West Penn Power, one and the same. And then you have PECO, of course, you have Penelec, you have People's Gas, PPL for electricity, and then you have for gas, you have three different kinds. You have UGI, UGIC, and UGIP. So you have that. You also have People's Gas of Pennsylvania, and you have PECO has, of course, their own, and then the other one is Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania. Okay, so and you notice that none of them have monthly service fees, and none of them have early termination fees. Okay. So I think Roy was asking about sales. You know, how do we sell we can't say lower your rates, we can't say price discounts, but these are selling points. If you're thinking about, well, how does a $0 amount for monthly service and $0 amount for early termination, how are those selling points? This is how they're selling points. Now, Mr. Smith, you're going to be getting a rate of 9.99 cents per kilowatt hour. Your rate is going to be 62.5 cents per therm. I'm just using these as examples. And there's no monthly service fee and no early termination fee with this offer, meaning that if at any time during the term of the 12 months you decide to cancel for whatever reason, you will not be charged an early termination fee with that. And that's a great thing and gives you peace of mind that says you can try us out for 90 days or so. And if you don't like us after that, they can always cancel and there won't be an early termination fee. Much like other suppliers, they usually have a monthly service fee or an early termination fee or both. With Verde Energy, we offer neither one. That's a great deal, isn't it? That's a selling point. Okay? So you can sell that because if you're dialing other suppliers now in other states, they probably include a monthly service fee, and they probably include an early termination fee of either 50 or 100. Okay, or both. Okay, with Verde Energy in Pennsylvania, neither apply. So you can use that as a selling point. All right, and then if you have any questions, Mr. Smith, you can always give us a call at 800-388-3862. And then just lastly, to confirm some information for you, is that Verde Energy is an independent seller of electricity and natural gas and not affiliated with the utility. The utility will continue to read your meter, respond to emergencies, and send your electric and gas bills, which will include Verde Energy's charges on the supply portion of the bill. And lastly, Verde Energy will submit your enrollment to the utility. You'll receive a welcome package from Verde Energy confirming everything we have talked about today. You'll also receive a letter from the utility confirming your switch to Verde Energy. And for any reason you change your mind, you can call the utility within 3 business days to cancel without penalty. You must disclose these as they read, as you show them on the screen. You must disclose them that way. Now, I have had reps because there's no early termination. I've had reps leave the disclosure that says you can call the utility within 3 business days to cancel without penalty. Well, there's no early termination. Why do I need to say that? Because it's part of the TPV question that they're going to be asked to answer with a clear yes or no.
Correct.
Okay. So everything that you see that has a bullet point has to be disclosed in whatever. If you sell a dual, then you have to disclose both the rate for electric and gas. You'll have to replace, and then now the electric and the gas, neither one of them have a monthly service fee, and neither one of them have an early termination fee. So peace of mind, they can leave one and keep the other, and they're not going to be charged an early termination fee. You can use the words peace of mind. And that works a lot because that customer now knows that, hey, I can cancel at any time and I'm not going to get charged an early termination fee. Where maybe if they've experienced this in the past with other suppliers, they know that they want an early terminate $100 or whatever, and then they go to battle with that. With this, listen, try us for 90 days. That's what we tell them. Try us for 90 days. If after 90 days you don't like us for whatever reason, there's no early termination. You can call and cancel. Okay. And what it does is it keeps us out of that 30-day chargeback period by going 90 days. So, there is a method to my madness. There's the madness part of it that comes into play with me. Again, I've been doing sales for 35 years, so I have a few tricks up my sleeve. They're all legit. They're good. But at the same time, hey, let's just give us a try. If you don't like it, no determination fee. That's a great thing for your peace of mind, And so, and then once we got that information, then you finally go to the TPV review. And one more time, you just reaffirm everything that you've talked about today. You will be asked a series of questions to confirm everything we've talked about, just like we did it above, what rate you're going to get, that there's no monthly service, it's a 12-month term, there's no determination, who you can call, and all of those things are going to be confirmed. And then when the verifier is finished with the questions, you will answer all of them with a clear yes or no. Because here's how the question is going to sound to the customer. Now, Mr. Smith, with Verde Energy, you're going to receive a rate of 99 cents per kilowatt hour. Do you understand that? Please answer with a clear yes or no. That's exactly how it's going to sound. So by me putting them here, you're actually prepping the customer for TPV.
Right.
Okay. So you're doing two things. You're recapping, number one, and letting them know exactly what they're getting, and you're prepping for TPV. So two things right there. Again, it doesn't take long. I do have teams that the reps will read this verbatim. I don't care if you move from one side of the script to the other, but to me, it makes sense if at one point when you start to when you go to recap the offer, that you just go right down the line as you see it right here with the bullet lines, because it's all right there. It's right in front of you. You don't have to think, oh shoot, did I forget to say this or did I say that? There's no thinking about whether you did or didn't remember to say something. It's right in front of you to say everything that's there and needs to be said. Okay.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, so that part of it is there, and then for you, Roy, there are the TPV numbers that you will need to program in your dialer. It's the same one for English and Spanish in New Jersey as well. And so when you get to New Jersey, oh my God, look, it looks just the same as Pennsylvania. The only thing that we need to do is the only thing that we're doing differently is we're confirming.
To cut you off, it's just a small question here, like the third-party verification which we have. Would it be a live transfer, which should go like once he agrees to everything?
It's a live transfer. It's a live transfer.
It's a live transfer. Okay, yes, got you. Yeah.
Okay, and then the other thing is that the only difference between New Jersey and Pennsylvania are the utility assistance programs. In New Jersey, it's Universal Service Fund, LIHEAP, Lifeline Credit Program, or budget billing. So the LIHEAP, the budget billing are the same. However, there's two other ones, Universal Service Fund and Lifeline Credit Program, that keep the customer from being submitted an enrollment that the utility would reject. Okay, that's and then and then everything else, as you can see, is the same as far as the bullet points are concerned. And when you get to New Jersey, again, when you look at it, they have, again, 0 monthly service and 0 early termination. And then again, they're offering for electricity, they're doing Atlantic City Electric, JCPL, PSEG, and RICO. And then for gas, it's New Jersey Natural Gas, PSEG, and South Jersey Gas. Those are your three jurisdictions. So again, the rates are a little bit higher in New Jersey, but they're in line with what the utility is doing right now. Okay. So, and then the other thing, Roy, what you do is you'll notice at the bottom of the tabs, there's Illinois, Massachusetts, New York, and Ohio. These are other states. Once you get rolling with sales and everything else, if you want to go into a different market, you're able to do that. We have to do a train section, not necessarily for all the reps, but just your QA people, so that we can train on that particular script.
Sure.
And then you go through the process of, and going from there. So in Massachusetts, it's Provider Power Massachusetts. In New York, it's it's Verde Energy, and some are Verde, some are Spark. Okay, so we have to talk about those. And then Ohio, it's Verde Energy as well, just as it is in Pennsylvania. Okay, so again, we'll go back to that. So any questions on the scripts, either one, New Jersey or Pennsylvania?
No, this is fine. Just the last part of it, wherein we are actually, doing a live transfer. So if you
Yes, it
could
is. It
please,
is a live streaming.
add
It is.
as a script, like how we are reconfirming that what we have told and how we actually transfer. If you could
Correct.
please read the script once more. This
Correct.
last one.
And again,
Yeah.
you're reading the script to the customer in 95% of the script is right there in front of you with all these bullet points. There are a couple of other things that the agent may ask
Mhm.
to come, but these are the primary disclosures that need to be said on every call to the customer. Okay, because they're also going to be confirming them on the TPV. What I don't want you to do, okay, everybody that's on this call, please do not get complacent, and please say, "Oh, I forgot that one. They'll cover the TPV." No, you must cover what you see in front of you, just like they're going to cover on the TPV, so that it matches. Remember, we talked about transparency, and we
Right.
talked about honesty and accurate. Okay, that's the reason why we're doing it this way, because if we build that relationship with a customer, they're likely to stay with us longer than to disconnect, even though they might have a no determination. They won't even
Correct.
think of so because they like you, they like the way you delivered it, they like the way you positioned it, you were transparent with them, you were honest, you gave them all of the information, you asked them if they had any questions during the call, you engaged them, and so that to them is very important because they probably have been used to getting slammed over time.
Correct.
Okay. So what we're trying to do is build it to where you're not doing things the old-fashioned way. We're just saying this is the way we do it here through Verde Energy, and so when you go into other markets, we expect it to stay the same consistent way. If you look at if when you get to the Massachusetts or New York or Ohio, the scripts will look identical. I mean, literally, they look identical.
Yeah,
The
of
only
course. I believe only the utility assistants, those who
Yeah,
change.
that would be about basically the utility system, and then in the other states, if there is a monthly service or an early termination, it'll show at the same time. So each state it shows you what they're doing. Okay, so again, very consistent, and what we're trying to do is build consistency in your own patterns of doing business that you end up making more sales because they're more upfront with everything, and the customers are likely to stay with you, whether it be this campaign or other campaigns. All we're trying to do is and people are gonna fight change. I mean, I can guarantee you the whole group and that's in here on this call, some are already thinking about ways of doing things differently. Some may like the way you see it, and then you want to try it. And others just say, ah, crap, I'm just going to do it my way and then and see if it get caught. Listen, we listen to 100% of every recording that comes in. And if
Mhm.
you're differently and you're not doing it according to the script, you will get caught. I will send out friendly emails to start with, and then we go from there. Okay?
Okay, no
Okay,
problem. Got
cool.
you. So
Thank you so much. All
basically, the
right.
last part of the script is repeating again. I mean,
Yeah,
reconfirming that the customer has got the right informations. And
correct.
then, do you have any question? I can before I bring a verification on the
Sure.
line. So then,
Exactly.
I would just go ahead and transfer it to the
Yeah,
verification.
and then we're gonna go now to order entry and transferring to a verifier.
Okay.
Okay. So in the document packet, I'm going to send you two zip files. Roy, you're going to have duplicate documents because each packet is set up so that if you only went one market, you would get all the documents. So in the document package, you're going to get all of these documents that we're talking about here. Okay. So you'll print one whole set, and then the other one you'll just print the script. So the scripts are the difference
Yeah.
because of the utility assistance programs. The rest of the documents, the telemarketing do's and don'ts, the call center order entry is going to be the same. So you can print one of these. And so, and then you'll have the rate sheet, okay, which will be that. So you only need to print one. So again, you'll see it. You only need to print one set of one, but the scripts definitely have to be printed, obviously, because you need to go through that. So call center order entry, and this is really, it's really actually very simple. And so in the document that you're going to get, the call center order entry, there's going to be this link that you're seeing. Okay, when you click on it, when the reps come in, they log in, they get ready to do, they click on this link, and it takes them here to the Spark ID login. So once we finish the training, Jay will send you and we do your leads and we get them scrubbed. Jay will send you the credentials and to log in as far as your rep IDs or Spark IDs that they call them,
Mhm.
and the passwords for each one. So I'm going to use the trainer. So this is what you're going to see when you log in. So when the, oops, my bad. Excuse me. And then we would key in the password. And so what's going every rep will have a unique Spark ID. It's either going to start with 266, 267, 268, depending on how many reps we got going. Maybe something, it always starts with 26 something. And so then you log in, and when you log in, you're going to see this. You're going to see your Spark ID up here in the corner, okay? And then you're going to see your name here in the middle, agent, and then vendor information, the office number. Again, it does not apply to you guys at this point. So when you get to this screen, you click on enter manually, all right? And we only do residential through this program, so you click on residential. So once you get to a position, this is the screen that you want to be in the position of, so that when you start dialing and the customer gets on the line and you start confirming the bill information, you're at the screen where you would key in this information, okay? So let's say the customer is John Smith, okay? The authorization name, okay, those fields, first name and last name, that is the person that is on the call. Okay, so if it's the account holder is John Smith, but you've got the spouse, Mary Smith, then you would key in here, Mary Smith.
Okay.
She's the person authorizing the switch. Okay, remember we asked that on the script. We asked, are you authorized to switch the accounts? And if she said yes, then we would be putting her name here. Okay, right? And that's, so let's just say, for example, that it is Mary Smith. So I'm going to do Mary Tess. And then the phone number, again, I'm just going to put in the number that doesn't really apply to anybody, because we're going to submit this and we don't want to. Now, if the customer has an email address, you would type it in here. If they have no email address, go to the next one. Okay, leave it blank. Do not type anything there. Just leave it blank. Okay. All right. And then because Roy is a top-notch salesperson, he only sells dual sales. Okay. And so when you click on dual, of course you get a choice of electric, so it's only going to give you an electric screen. If you choose gas because you just couldn't sell them on the electric side, but you got a better rate, you click on that. But because Roy's he's a top dog, he does nothing but duals. Okay, so he's going to give you two screens. He's going to give you a gas screen and give you electric screen. And we're going to do Pico, for example. So give me a zip code for Pico, if you would, Roy.
Zip code for Pico. I don't have it handy. Like the Pico zip. Just a second. Let me just give you a zip code for Pico. I'm just Googling it up though.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I think they start in the 6s, don't they?
Don't really remember. I'm just checking it out. So I can check for New Jersey. I would need to check for Pico, P-E-C-O, zip code for Pico. Just a second. I'm just typing it one beat. So Pico. I'm not getting one in Google though. Zip codes for Pico. I just type zip codes for Pico.
Okay.
That's what I typed. And it's not pulling up something which I need. So registration demographics, company information and stuff.
9060.
I've got one.
90.
I have one.
60. 90601. That's one zip.
I have one. Don't worry about it. I got one. Okay. So we will key in the address 123 Test Street because that's what we verified off the bill. Off the bill, not our lead list. Okay, everybody, right? Yeah. And then we use 19124. And so 19124 is Pico. Okay. So you search for that zip code. It's going to come back as Philadelphia, PA. Now the billing address is the same because we asked the customer, is the billing address the same as the service? And yep. So you click on that and it populates it automatically for you. And then the utility is for gas. They either get a choice of People's Gas, Pennsylvania or Pico, Philadelphia Electric. We're going to use Philadelphia Electric because it's Pico. And then the program for that is a program that gives them 12-month, no early termination, no monthly. And the rate, you see how the rate shows is 0.679? Okay?
Yes, I see that.
That actually translates to 67.90 cents per therm. Okay, so you can either say it as 67.90 cents per therm, or you can say it the way they show it, which is 0.679 per therm. Okay, so either way, it's going to turn into 67.9 cents. Okay, once they translate. All right.
Right.
Okay. Then the relationship is, now this is Mary, right?
Spouse or account holder, whoever has taken the call.
So this is Mary, that's the authorized person on the phone. So we got to make sure that the relationship field is selected according to who is on the phone. So if it's the account holder, then you put on account holder. If it's the spouse, then you click on spouse. And the reason for it, because the verifier is going to ask you, who do I have on the phone? And you're going to say Mary Smith, the spouse. Well, she's going to look, or he's going to look at this relationship, and if he sees or she sees account holder, they will disconnect the TPV because you don't have the account set up properly. So very, very important, everybody that's on the call. If you have the account holder as the authorization name, then you must click it as account holder. If it's the spouse, then we say spouse. All right.
And if it's a daughter or something, we can mention family member. If
it's a family member, then you put family member. Okay. So then when they ask you, who am I talking to on the call, you say you're going to be talking to the Brian Smith, the son. Okay.
Fine. So this question will be asked to us by the TPV, right?
What's that again?
We are transferring. Once we are transferring the call, or once we are passing on, this would be asked by the TPV that who is online.
Yeah, me. and we're gonna get to the questions here in a minute once we finish the order. Okay. All right. So then we're gonna put in the account number, and we're gonna put in 888-555-2224. That's the account number for gas, and then we're gonna key in the account information for the electric, which again is the same, 123 Test Street, and then the zip code is 19124, and we're gonna look it up, and that's gonna be Philadelphia. The billing information obviously is the same, and then we're gonna utility is. Now, they do have a choice of Pennsylvania Power and Light, PPL, or Philadelphia Electric. We're going to do PICO. Okay, and the offer is 9.99 cents per kilowatt hour. As you can see on the rate sheet for Pennsylvania, for PICO Electric, it is 9.99 cents. Okay, again, it shows you on the screen as 0.0999. Okay, so again, just as you see it is how you need to disclose it. All right. And then, so again, this is the spouse because it is Mary Smith. And then we're going to keep the same account number, which was 888-555-2224. Okay. Now, if the customer has additional accounts, then you would click on this right here where it says add new dual fuel accounts. If you click on that, but the customer only has electric, which is fine, you fill in the electric portion of it. And when you go to submit request, it's going to error out for you because there's no gas information. And this little red X here at the top, it's not active. It's not active unless there is an error. Okay, so if you have additional accounts, you clean and it's only electric, you're going to get an error on the gas portion. And now the little red X becomes active. You can just click on it and it gets rid of it. And then the only thing that you have is a gas for the primary, an electric for the primary, and then a separate electric on it. And then you have the same TPV doing 3 accounts, 2 electrics and one gas. Okay.
Okay. If they have additional.
If they have additional accounts, if they don't have any, then all you're ready to do is submit the request. You click on submit request, and if everything is good, which it usually is when I do this training, anyways, you will get this confirmation number here. Everybody that's on this call, very, very important. Write this number down. Okay. Because you will need it when you call TPV. They will ask you for a record locator or confirmation number. If you don't write this number down and you go to get yourself ready for the next order or the next sale, okay, that confirmation number goes into the black hole of confirmation numbers and you will not be able to retrieve it. Okay, the only thing you can do is enter a brand new order all over again to get a new confirmation number. All right, so very, very important, write this number down. All right, because once you go to calling the call center for TPV, they're gonna answer the phone. They're gonna say, "Hello, this is Mary with Calibris. May I have your Spark ID, please?" And so you're gonna give them that Spark ID up here in the corner that says whatever that number is. It's a 10-digit number. Okay.
Mhm.
They're going to ask you for the record locator or confirmation number. You say I have a confirmation number, and that is A621877. So what they do when they key that in, it pulls up what you entered into the order. Okay. And then they're
Okay.
going to say, then they're going to ask you, who do I have on the call? And then at that point, you're going to say Mary Smith, the spouse, or John Smith, the account holder. But remember, the relationship needs to match whoever you're speaking, whoever they're going to be speaking with. Very important. Okay, because
Mhm.
they'll kill the TPV process right there before you even get started. Now you got to go back in and put a brand new order in, and then start a new TPV. Okay.
Mhm.
So, any questions on that part?
Here, which I see here, like, TPV agent will ask for Spark ID, so that's there. And agent will ask for record locator. Which
What?
was the record locator? Though that
That's
last
well,
number.
it's the same as the confirmation number.
Okay. So the confirmation number is the record locator.
Yeah,
So
it's
if you
one.
pull
Yeah,
that back
the agent says I have a confirmation number, letter A, whatever the number is.
Okay, so once we have explained the client about what he is getting, then we keep the client on hold, or is he on call while we
No,
are
you
connecting?
put them on hold. Just park them. I think it's courteous that we put them and say, I'm going to get the verifier on the call. I have to do some things before we bring them on. I'm going to put you on a brief hold, and
Yeah.
then once it's ready for you, I will bring you back on. Is that okay to do? And you want to get their permission. Again, you're building that relationship with the customer the whole way. All
Hmm.
right, and so you want
Now,
to make sure
now,
that
say in this case, I mean, say somehow the call gets disconnected from here. What is the way out? Like the customer
then
says
where's the
everything,
customer, you call the
have to do
customer
it
back.
all over again.
You call the customer back,
Yeah.
okay?
Hmm.
And if you haven't started the TPV, then you can call the customer back and use the same code. If in the middle of the call something happens, the internet goes down or something happens, the customer's got a lot of questions, and the agent verifier disconnects the call, then you will have to enter the order all over again before you can call TPV back. So you call the customer back and say, Mister, you can just jump on the call and say, unmute yourself because you're on the call the whole time, and
Hmm.
say, Miss Smith, what was the question that you had? Well, I don't understand this. And so you clarify it for them. Okay, just give me a free minute. I need to key this information so that we can start over again. Do you have any additional questions? No, I don't. Okay, great. Let me ask you this. Hold all of your questions until the end of the TPV. Once the TPV agent is done, then I will disconnect out and then I will answer your calls, your questions at that time. Is that okay? So it's always good that before you transfer the verifier and the customer and you mute yourself, ask that question. Really, really important. Ask that question once again. Mr. Smith, Ms. Smith, whoever it is that's on the phone, do you have any questions at this time? Because the verifier cannot help you, nor can I. No, I don't. Okay, great. If you do come up with some questions, hold those until the end of the call. And then once the verifier is done, I will come back on and answer those for you. Okay? And then you get permission. This way, they don't ask any questions, but they're answering with a clear yes or no. Now, when the agent this done, the TPV agent is done, and you disconnect the call, you can come back and answer any questions that they had. And but the TPV is a clean TPV. Okay.
Okay. So
So very important
when
on your part for the reps. Very important. Continue with the prepping the customer and keeping them from asking questions during the call, because as you know, they will get disconnected and something goes up. Please hold all your questions till the end of the call, and then once the verifier is done, I will come back on and answer those questions for you. Okay, and then that way you're confirming with them. You're not leaving. You're going to answer all the questions when they get there. So it's very, very important. All right.
So, once we are through, like it would be a three-way call, and then the third-party verification would drop out, and me and the customer would be on the call to answer his questions if he has any, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So again, the interaction continues even in TPV. Remember we talked about engaging the customer with the whole process, asking them if they had any questions during the call when you were explaining the offer and everything else, and you're engaging them. The engagement process doesn't end with just the sales call. It continues on before the TPV, so that make sure the customer is still comfortable with the change that they're about to make. So you as reps need to continue to build that relationship with the customer. If you hear me, I keep saying relationship because that's what you're really doing is you're building a relationship, you know. And I know that there are let me, before I get to that point, any other questions on the order entries? Pretty simple, pretty easy to follow.
No, it's okay. I mean, like when an agent is on call, he has to have that order entry form as well in front of him, apart from the dialer, which he sees. So those two
Yeah,
screens has to stay. Like the dialer is automatically, throwing calls at him, and he needs to have that order entry form, which you just filled up with the dummy
yeah,
data.
exactly. The order
Right.
entry, when you first walk in, all of the reps on this call, when you first walk in, you're preparing yourself, your computer's coming up. You need to click on the link to get you to the point of where you are. As I said earlier, we're going to do a new request here. We're going to manually, and this is the screen that you need to be on
Right.
before you start getting calls coming to you. Okay.
And this should be filled every single time when a customer is, like he is in the process of becoming a lead or a
Correct.
probable customer.
Correct.
Okay.
So you have to fill out the form. You have to fill out the form. This is better than doing it through a sales tracker, which is manually, because now we have to wait for everybody to send it in. And if you don't send it in, then you get behind. And the problem with that is that because there are so many other suppliers in the market, if you don't submit it right away, then you could possibly lose out to somebody else getting, that maybe has an automated version. So this is very good because it's automated. Once you get a verified TPV, they send it directly to the utility for processing. They don't have to wait for batch processing, which a lot of suppliers still have. It's not a good thing for call centers because now they have to wait for everybody on this team to submit their sales via batch, and then they got to send it into somebody who's got to process it, and it's a real time-consuming process, and meaning you might lose sales. This way, here you fill it out, and when you submit it, it's already in the system. Now they're just waiting for the TPV to be verified, and once the verification is good, then it's sent out for processing.
So we or the agent will be knowing over the call only whether that's a sale, right?
Sorry again?
I mean, an agent, when he has transferred it to the TPV and they are on a three-way call, at the end of the TPP verification, they would be sure that it's a sale or it's not.
Well, they'll be given a confirmation number. If the confirmation number is given, and the rep says your verification is now complete, your confirmation number is. Those are the terms that you'll hear, and that means that that's a verified TPV. Okay, and will be sent off. And so the rep can hear that because they're on the call on mute.
Right.
So remember, you cannot come off.
Whatever happens in a single call. I mean, they would be sure.
Yeah, you just have to remember, all reps on the call on this training thing, that you cannot come off the recording off mute and say, "Oh, Mr. Smith, this is where you would say a clear yes or no," and then jump back on and then mute yourself. If the TPV verification agent hears you come back on, they will disconnect the TPV at that time.
So when the TPV starts, an agent cannot, speak.
Cannot. You're on mute the whole time. As much as you want to say something, you can't. Now, if the customer is asking a lot of questions and you feel like this call should be canceled, then you can disconnect the TPV, answer all the questions, and then start a new TPV.
Okay.
That's really a rep decision on that. It's a common sense thing. If you're listening to because if they're asking a lot of questions and the TPV agent says, "I can't answer that for you," I can't answer that for you, they may end up canceling the TPV themselves and then disposition it. The customer didn't understand the process, and so what happens is it goes back to the rep because the rep was so busy trying to get the TPV, they didn't explain the offer directly to the customer or properly to the customer because they don't understand it. Okay. So that's a coaching opportunity for that particular rep that says, hey, you need to be more diligent and more clear on the offer because these customers are not going through because they're asking a lot of questions. And here's how you know that. You get a portal that you get to pull every night your sales entered into the system, and whether they were verified TPV or not verified TPV, but along with the non-verified TPVs, you'll have the reason why. Okay. So you actually get to use that report as a coaching tool yourself. Okay. Right. And so because it'll give you the reasons why. So if you see a lot of customer didn't understand and it's just particular one rep, then you can deal with that rep directly. If you see internet, canceled or disconnected or whatever, obviously not the rep's fault, but if you see the rep come back in with a verified sale, then the rep did everything they were supposed to get back onto the phone, get the customer back in, etc. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, as of now, fine. Do you have any other question, guys?
No.
Okay.
Okay, great.
As of now, fine.
I'm going to stop the recording at this point.